Welcome to week 9. I hope you had a great spring break and took some time off and uh, at least got to relax, maybe sleep in a little bit. All right, so we're going to start at our landing page and then head over to content. We're going to look at week 9, the Welcome to Week 9 announcement. Okay, this week is not a real heavy week, but there's a lot of things to do in this. So I wanted to talk to you about that. You're going to be writing a writing plan. So a writing plan is a combination of an annotated bibliography and an outline. So think about an outline on steroids. Okay. So this is due on Sunday, so you have all week to work on it. Okay, here is the assignment. Large writing assignment number 2, the profile writing plan. So this is not your profile essay, but by the time you've answered all of these things, your paper is almost written because you've done all the research, you've done all of the connecting of ideas, and you're in a really good position to move forward. And sometimes, depending on how you write it, whole chunks of your writing plan can be used as paragraphs or parts of paragraphs in your profile. All right, so the writing plan, you're first going to describe a low-tech item to be profiled. So we already talked about that in the discussion board before we went to spring break. So you've got my feedback and know whether or not you're on the right track. Then you're going to determine 3 key points that will help you as you're discussing your profile. Remember, your profile is over a low-tech item, but really about its position in the world and like what it really stands for. Okay, so I gave an example of an army boot before we took our break for spring break. So now maybe I'll get a pen, not a pen. How about a writing desk? Like a regular desk. Think about now we out there covered in computers and cords and technology, but think about the original writing desk when people were writing things by hand. What kinds of things were written at a writing desk? I'll give you a hint. Some of the most profound pieces of literature in the world's history were written at desks. Think Magna Carta, think Declaration of Independence. These things are much bigger than the item they were written on, but how did that item impact that, and what does it really mean? In that scenario, when you think about things like the Magna Carta or the Declaration of Independence, it's standing for something so that we can make a stand, which is pretty profound. All right, so once you've got your 3 key points, you're going to talk about who your audience is and your goal. Now, these 2 things work together as your motivation. When you write your actual essay, you will not talk about your audience or the goal. The reader should know because they are the audience, and they'll be able to tell your goal through your thesis. But this helps keep you motivated to write about what you want to write about. Next, you need at least 4 potential sources. These sources should come from the Lone Star databases, but if they don't, they must at least have gone through Crapo. So I do want some database sources, but they don't all have to be from the database, but they definitely need to be well-vetted sources. So you're going to give me the citation for the sources. You're going to talk about what's in them. You're going to take quotes out of them that align with your key points and tell me that. So A, B, and C are sometimes answered at once. So you might write your citation for the first one, and then you'll tell me, about which key point it supports, and then what is a quote from that source that helps support that key point. Then D is a revision strategy. So at this point, we've done a lot of writing. I'm sure you've done a lot of thinking. What works best for you? There are some mentioned in chapter 32 of your NFG, so feel free to take a look there. And then talk about feedback, not just my feedback, but feedback on discussion boards or from the peer review that you did last time, or if you have another group that does that helps you with that. Any of those things work. This is pretty long, double spaced, about 3 to 5 pages. And it's due on Sunday. Let me know if you have any questions.